Year 2. So today's guided reading is going to be chapter 9 of Fantastic Mr. Fox. Okay, so yesterday we read chapter 8. Just have a little think about what happened. So do you remember the farmers were sitting at the top of the hole and they were eating so that the foxes were feeling really, really hungry in the hole. Just pause the video and think about what do you think is going to happen in chapter 9. The title is Mr. Fox Has a Plan. What do you think that plan might be? Okay, make sure you've got chapter 9 ready because we're going to read it all together. Chapter 9, Mr. Fox Has a Plan. For 3 days and 3 nights this waiting game went on. How long can a fox go without food or water? Boggis asked on the 3rd day. Not much longer, Bean told him. He'll have to make a run for it soon. He'll have to. Bean was right. Down in the tunnels the foxes were slowly but surely starving to death. If only we could just have one tiny sip of water, said one of the small foxes. Oh, Dad, can't you do something? Can we make a dash for it, Dad? We'd have a little bit of a chance, wouldn't we? No chance at all, snapped Mrs. Fox. I refuse to let you go up there and face those guns. I'd sooner you stay down here and die in peace. Mr. Fox had not spoken for a long time. He had been sitting quite still, his eyes closed, not even hearing what the others were saying. Mrs. Fox knew he was trying desperately to think of a way out, and now, as she looked at him, she saw him stir himself and get slowly to his feet. Stir means he's slowly starting to move, so he was sitting really still, and then he slowly started to move. He looked back at his wife. There was a little spark of excitement dancing in his eyes. What is it? Said Mrs. Fox quickly. I've just had a bit of an idea, Mr. Fox said carefully. What? They cried. Oh, Dad, what is it? Come on, said Mrs. Fox. Tell us quickly. Well, said Mr. Fox. Then he stopped and sighed and sadly shook his head. He sat down again. It's no good, he said. It won't work after all. Why not, Dad? Because it means more digging. And we aren't any of us strong enough for that after 3 days and nights without food. Yes, we are, Dad, cried the small foxes, jumping up and running to their father. We can do it. You see if we can't. So can you. Mr. Fox looked at the 4 small foxes and he smiled. What fine children I have, he thought. They are starving to death and they haven't had a drink for 3 days, but they are still undefeated. I must not let them down. I suppose we could give it a try, he said. Let's go, Dad. Tell us what you want us to do. Slowly Mrs. Fox got to her feet. She was suffering more than any of them from the lack of food and water. She was very weak. Weak means she hasn't got any strength because she's not eaten. She's feeling really tired. She's not able to move as much. She's not really going to be able to dig. She was very weak. I am so sorry, she said, but I don't think I'm going to be much help. You stay right where you are, my darling, said Mr. Fox. We can handle this by ourselves. Okay, so your questions are on the home learning plan. Question number 1 is, why do the farmers think Mr. Fox will have to come out of the hole soon? Why won't Mrs. Fox let the small foxes make a dash for it? Number 3 was, what is Mr. Fox's idea? And number 4 is, find all of the ly suffix words and write them in your book. And all the answers for those are at the bottom of the home learning plan again. Okay, off you go.